For the last fortnight, Glasgow in Scotland has been the epicentre of discussions on tackling the climate crisis. But as negotiations move towards the closing stages, those already taking the brunt of climate change impacts have continued their calls for world leaders to do more.
In Papua New Guinea, we're on the front edge of climate change. We were one of the first countries that, I think the first country that actually had to relocate an entire population from the Cataract Islands. What we're seeing is that the poor are suffering the worst and actually have the most to lose. So, there are poor countries whose entire existence can be wiped out. So, do we need to listen to their voice? I think we certainly do.
In Africa, some of the first to suffer the effects of climate change are those with small holdings. It's leading a number of technology companies and philanthropic groups to offer money for new ways to adapt to those challenges, including the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
Smallholder farmers in South Asia and Africa are already experiencing the impact of climate change. That's reducing crops, it's new diseases, new pests, and therefore right now is a time to really accelerate that innovation and to make it build a green revolution in a way that's more sustainable, that has more input from local farmers in it, and is really transformative.
UK company Let Us Grow offers one of those transformative solutions, producing 40-foot shipping containers that enable crops to be grown vertically inside them, offering both protection and reduced water consumption.
Within our system, we recapture all of the water, clean it and recycle it through the system. So the only water that's leaving our system is leaving in the plants. So you can get sort of a greater yield over the course of the year because you're being able to fit in more growing cycles, the crops grow faster. So even though there are more energy inputs overall into a vertical farm, there's less sort of per kilo or per tonne of crops.
The UK is also offering leadership in urban areas too. 40 cities across the world, including Cape Town, Johannesburg and 11 others on the African continent, have formed an international network looking at ways to move towards greener ways of living. London has been nominated for this year's chair, recognition, the city's mayor claims, of the work being done to improve England's capital.
We now have more electric buses in London than any city in Western Europe. We're going to ramp that up. We have more electric vehicle charging points than any city in the UK. It means there's a global spotlight in London, of course, but it means that we can accelerate the progress we're making on climate change and air pollution, but also help other parts of the world do well as well.
Bringing the world together is now a focus for the COP26 Summit in the final hours. The UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson has encouraged leaders to do all they can to make sure an historic deal does get over the line. And all eyes are on Glasgow to see if that 1.5-degree warming target can be met. Laura Macon-Isherwood, SABC News at the COP26 Climate Summit in Glasgow.